Hello everybody, welcome back to Neoquest 2. So I went ahead and I changed up the screen a little bit here. Um I always notice that because I have a fairly wide monitor, um that there was always a lot of extra space on the sides of the screens, and I was hesitant to crop it because I didn't want to make the text illegible. But I decided to try it this time and instead crop the entire window. Um, so we're gonna see it. So it'll look a lot more zoomed in. I'm hoping the text is still legible here. So it's kind of an experimental setup for this episode. Hopefully it looks a lot better. If not, I'll go back to how it looked in the last episode. But yeah, anyway, we're still in the underclouds here. Whoops. And we are on our way to cumulonimbus, and we are still at level, I think it was 48. Is that right? I think that's right. I did not do any kind of grinding off camera. I started to a little bit, but I only got a couple battles in before. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, good, it didn't go through. Before stopping. I don't really think we need to grind too much right now. I think we'll be okay not grinding until maybe like the last boss, but we'll have to see. We are on normal, so we don't typically have to grind too much. The only boss. Oh, I am on hunting still. I should probably take that off. The only boss I really had any trouble with was Hubert Knox. So, but I mean, he's known as being a pretty difficult boss, I believe, in general. So that's not too surprising. Oh, it's been a while since the last time I recorded. Obviously these episodes are taking a long time to come out, way longer than I anticipated. So if you're still watching, definitely appreciate you sticking around. Based on how long these are taking, I probably won't do anything else after this, but I definitely wanted to finish this series still. It's just very hard to keep up with making videos on a regular basis, so I'm not going to commit to anything else. Like I talked about maybe doing Neoquest 1, which, maybe I will someday, but I'm not going to commit to it. But I definitely want to see this one through because I'm really enjoying it. And, like I said from the beginning, I want there to be a full playthrough of this game. In case anything happens to it, or in case, people just want to kind of go through the game vicariously through me, actually going through the whole game themselves. So who's this? Seth? Kath? I don't know. Let's go with Seth, I guess. Seth glances up from the ground where she's playing marbles. Well, what do you want? Who are you? Seth glares at you. Mind your business, she snaps. I'm busy playing a game. Isn't it kind of dangerous to be out here? So, it's dangerous. Big whoop. The creatures here don't bother me. They think I'm so crazy to just trips in here that I must be a powerful wizard or something. She laughs. Not even. I just needed a nice smooth surface to play marbles on. This is not a smooth surface. This is a brick road. Can you at least tell us something useful about the city? Sure, I've been here a while, so I know a thing or two. What do you want to know? What kind of monsters are there? A bunch of different ones. Lots of fairies, a Noil or two. I thought I saw someone herding some babas through, but that can't be right. Oh yeah, a big angelpuss, although it looks weird. It was red. Are angelpusses supposed to be red? Anyway, what else do you want to know? What can you tell us about the layout of the city? Easy. It's a grid. Well, not that easy. See, there's the stone cloud stuff that's built up all over the place. I don't know where it came from, but it's all over the underclouds. Anyway, I guess the city's been abandoned a long time because the stone cloud has broken through a lot of the building walls. Makes it kind of hard to get around. I think you need to go through these buildings to the southeast if you want to get anywhere. What else do you want to know? All right, so that's it. That is all of her dialogue, it looks like. So the devil puss, or the angel puss she's talking about is the devil puss, of course. Which is one of the main reasons I think a lot of people play this game is for the devil puss avatar. So this is where you get it. It's like at this point, if you play all the way through to this point to get this avatar, and you got to play a little bit further to get the Psy Bunny avatar. I can't remember what it's called. The Bionic Psy Bunny or something like that. If you play up to this point to get the avatars, it's like you might as well just finish it, get your trophy. Unfortunately, the prizes for normal are worth basically nothing. At least they were last time I checked. I assume they still are. I mean, I looked at the prizes for evil, and those are worth nothing. I think I already talked about how, like, back in the day when I played evil, the prizes were for evil. Like, I remember them fluctuating a lot. Like Scuzzy's Comb and Ramtur's Spellbook. I remember times when they were worth 100k. I remember times when they were worth 800k. But now, like, you can find them for super cheap. I think I actually bought some when I first started playing again and did the battle dome a little bit, but I haven't done that in a while. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought that in a honey potion. I probably already talked about that on these last episodes, but it's been so long that I don't even remember. I haven't really played this much. I really wanted to do Ultra Cup this year, but I was very confused at first about like I kept checking and it still was the practice round, even though I was like pretty sure that real matches had started. And then it turns out I had like missed the first week and it was like a break day, which I didn't even realize that there were break days. And like Zen mode. Yeah, I was just confused and then I kind of just lost the motivation to play. So I didn't end up playing any of it really. I can't even remember if I submitted one match or not. So I might not even get my participation medal. But I signed up for, what was it, Mariqua, I believe, this year. A lot of people like to stick to the same teams every year, I know, but I always like to like change it up, which is not ideal for prizes because I know you get some good prizes for like staying on a team, like on the same team every year. The very first time I think I went on Terror Mountain, but then once they got like knocked out, they allowed you to like join a different team. So I know eventually I ended up on Haunted Woods, which won that first year, but I only joined in the last round when it was Haunted Woods versus Sterrigan. But I don't believe you can change teams anymore because I don't think teams really get knocked out anymore. I don't think they, like I said, I didn't really watch it, but or keep up with it this year, but I don't think that they have any kind of elimination rounds. Let's go ahead and spend these skill points here. Yeah, ever since the site converted though, like I already was like barely playing. No, I was like kind of dabbling here and there. Like around the time when I started these videos, but I once the site got converted, I kind of just completely lost interest. I haven't even really been looking at where I'm supposed to be going. I just realized that I'm just kind of wandering aimlessly right now. And I think I'm going in the wrong direction. Oh no. Yeah, I'm looking at the map now. I think we actually need to be going down. This is kind of a big area. No. Okay. There's not really more than one way for me to go right now. Wow, this is a really big map. I didn't realize how far we were gonna have to travel when I first walked in here. But yeah, I think we have to go all the way We have to go all the way to the left and up around the top. And then we're going to have to go like all the way down. Wow, this is not a big area, but you have to travel a long distance. I guess it's kind of made up for by only being one floor. Most of like the dungeons with bosses at the end, whoops, usually have more than one floor. All right, though. It's no problem. Let's see. I got Jelly Neo pulled up here. It says that we should be level 52 for the Devil Puss on normal. So we'll definitely be under leveled, but that's okay. I'll just make it a little bit more of a challenge. Definitely don't mind that, even though it doesn't always go well. But that's kind of my philosophy on all of the games I play that have leveling. I don't mind trying it if I'm under leveled, assuming that the consequence for dying isn't like severe. Like if I'm playing Neoquest 2 on insane mode, where if you die, the game is over completely, then yeah, I'm gonna over level because I'm not gonna take that risk. But if it's something like this, or like in Pokemon, for example, when I was doing the Nuzlocke on this channel, well, the Nuzlocke does kind of have harsher penalties, but just Pokemon in general, like I don't mind taking on the bosses under leveled because it'll just make it more of a challenge, and if I succeed, it'll make it way more satisfying than if I had just over leveled and then steamroll the boss. So I don't mind giving it at least one try or so, especially because I hate grinding. Now let me get my bearings here. Yeah, we gotta go here, and then we gotta go down. This would be so hard to find your way through without a map. But that's just this game in general. Alright, ooh, doing 100 damage. Okay, they're casting Obliterate. Man, doing 100 without Obliterate. I guess they've probably been able to do that amount of damage. I just hardly ever pay attention to how much damage they do, as I just heal it up right away. So if it's not a boss, I'm not usually paying too close of attention on it. Yeah, I would like to eventually do Neoquest though. I know I was talking at the beginning about how I don't want to commit to it because it takes me so long to make these, and I don't want to say I'm going to do it and then never do it, but even if I don't like record it, I definitely want to go through Neoquest again. Like I've been kind of on a kick lately of like accomplishing things I wanted to do as a child. Like I've been working on completing the Pokedex and like Pokemon games. Like I did Gen 1. I've been working on Gen 2 and 3 for a while, mostly Gen 3. That's why I was doing the Nuzlocke on this channel, and I made a lot of progress. It just takes a really long time to do it because I got to play through Pokemon Leaf Green, Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Sapphire, Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. And usually when I'm done with one, I'll like take a break. So I finished Emerald and Leaf Green, and then kind of took a break and working on Coliseum a little bit. But anyway, I've just been working on like accomplishing a lot of those things I wanted to do as a child. So getting the gold Neoquest trophy is definitely on that list. Because I have the gold Neoquest 2 one and I have the bronze Neoquest one. Let me just make sure. Don't want to go in here. So I definitely would like to get some closure on that. So I'll probably do that eventually. At least it's looking like, I was at the beginning of like those like first episodes when I was talking about the like future of Neopets and stuff. Well, it looks like we're in the future of Neopets, and it doesn't look like the old site is going anywhere. Like that was my worry, is that the new site was going to be the only site, right? And you wouldn't be able to access the old site and get to these older games. like I know this doesn't work on Flash except for the cutscenes, so it doesn't really um it like it shouldn't matter that there's no Flash anymore. But I was worried that you just wouldn't be able to access the old site, and then we wouldn't be able to access this game because I'm sure this game will never be converted to the new site because it's so old. Maybe it will. I know I saw the Neopets team or somebody from the Neopets team answering questions, and they said that they're converting basically any Flash game that gets any amount of plays, and that there were a lot of them that get like 0 plays, and they're not going to convert those. But even the ones that are only getting like a few plays, they're going to convert. And I would imagine Neoquest 2 and Neoquest 1. Well, Velm is about to die. Dang. I would imagine that they get a fair amount of plays still. So if they needed to convert it, like if they were going to leave the old site behind completely, I'm a little more confident now that they would end up converting this and not just leaving it to die. But you never know. So I was worried about that. But it looks like the old site will continue to be accessible. And if it's not, like I said, I'm more confident that they will end up converting it. I don't think we're going to get those cutscenes back, though, which is definitely disappointing. Because, I mean, that's where, like, all the story of this game comes from. Like, there's a lot of, like, NPC dialogue and stuff, but the whole, like, fact that this is actually a simulation and that, like, you know, these are, like, people in the, like, quote-unquote real world, you know, that whole part of the story will be completely lost. Like I think there's some references to it in the NPC dialogue, like specifically I think maybe when we were talking to Snow Wager, I remember hearing about that. I'm not really sure, or maybe when we were picking up Velm. Um, you know, it's been a while since we did that, but you know, I think there's hints of it, but you'll just be completely confused if you don't look up the cutscenes, and especially because like there is this view cutscene button right here, which should give you a hint that there's cutscenes. But if somebody just stumbles onto this game and is just playing it and isn't looking very closely, like you know, they might not ever realize that there's supposed to be cutscenes. I don't remember what played between chapters, like if it said like oh a cutscene playing or whatever, but maybe it did, and then they'll know to go look it up, but. Either way, you're losing a lot of the story, so it's sad that we're never going to get those cutscenes. Probably. It could happen, but probably not. This site conversion is going very slowly. Um, it's now July when I'm recording this episode, and like I feel like there's been very little progress. I'm sure there's been a lot of progress behind the scenes. Um, you know, I have no doubt that like the team is working really hard and they've probably made a lot of progress on their end. But, you know, from like a player point of view, it seems like there hasn't really been a ton of progress. Oh man. We're at least getting some good experience still. That's the nice thing about staying under leveled is that you know, we're never going to get diminishing returns on the experience. You know, as we come to the end of this playthrough, I'm just finding myself like thinking about like do I really like this game? Like how much of it is nostalgia? I came into this, you know, I was talking about on the first few episodes, I didn't really expect to like it as a game itself. It was more just about like the nostalgia. Um, you know, that really helps my enjoyment of the game. But as like a game, is it really that good? And it's impressive for what it is, but I don't know if I'd call it good. Um, but you know, as we're finishing up here, not like finishing up, but coming to the end, like I think that this game is pretty good. Um, maybe not for like when it came out. Like it feels like a little dated for when it came out because it was like 2004, so we were getting like, you know, we were like almost in like the Xbox 360 PS3 generation. Like we were getting some pretty impressive games. big RPGs. Like that's probably around the time I think like 2 years later, like Morrowind came out, right? So you have like these huge RPGs coming out. So this game obviously it's a Neopets game, so it's a little more understandable. But just compared to like games as a whole, it would feel a little dated at the time even. But I do think it's a pretty decent game. My only real problem with it is I think it's a little bit too long, maybe. Um, like I do feel like maybe it overstays its welcome a little bit. Because, but like by the time I get to Fairyland, I'm always like ready to be done. All right, Devilpuss zooms around the ruins of Cumulonimbus, cackling wildly. Being an angel puss was fun, I admit, he says. But being a devil puss is so much more fun. Nobody expects you to be sweet all the time. Nobody insists that you keep your fur all white and clean. He turns and gives you a fiendish look. Nobody minds if you kill a few Neopets now and then. He zooms towards you and attacks. Ooh, that's dark, man. Talking about actually killing us. All right. I really don't remember him being too hard, but it's, let's be safe. Get all our buffs. Cast the debuffs. Um, but yeah, I do think like the conclusion I'm coming to is I do think this is a pretty good game. Just dated. Like it feels more like if it came out in the 90s, I think it would have stacked up against like those games a lot better. Um it still would have felt a little dated. Like I mean, these games are just they're like the original Dragon Quest games, right? That's clearly what they were going for. And those came out in the mid to late 80s. So that's kind of like the era this um, captures. But obviously, Neopets wasn't around back then. So if you stack it up against those games, I do think it's a pretty good game. Obviously, it's not going to do much for you if like you're not into Neopets. But yeah, my only problem would be that I do think it's a little long. And I don't even necessarily think that the game is long. It's just that it takes so long to play because you have to refresh the page every time you do anything that it makes it feel a lot longer. Like it makes it take a lot longer than um like the actual content itself would take on like a traditional game. Um so yeah. Like if this was a more traditional game, I'm sure it would take like maybe half of the time that it takes. All right. Should pay more attention here because he is no longer slowed. I have a lot of slumber potions, so might as well just throw another one on there. This is a pretty easy battle though. Um, I've, I've barely even been like being careful or anything. I'm just basically attacking, doing my regular buffs. I probably could have done a haste there. Didn't even think about it. But he's not like resisting too much. Like that was the problem against like Hubert Knox and stuff is that he would resist like every attack. So let's just go with the group haste just to be safe. But he's not resisting too much. Even if most people are hitting, even if they're only doing a little bit of damage. You can do 134, so got to be careful there. It seems like he has really high physical defense or physical resistance, but the magic attacks and the like damage potions are doing pretty well, except that one. um, but my physical attackers are doing very little damage. Come on, here we go. Yeah, took a long time to get through that place though. I wasn't even on hunting or anything. I barely fought anybody along the way, and it took a long time to get through Cumulonimbus. I didn't mean to attack. Oh well, it works. Devil Puss crashes to the ground. His wings crumbled and his tail bent. I guess it was fun after all. With that, he stops moving and is silent. The east gate of Cumulonimbus stands open before you. So we got a controlling wand and a staff of compassion. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. So we got controlling wand. It'll take our group haste down. And put those things up, which we don't really need to go up. So not going to do that. Staff of compassion. It's going to bring the healing down. Actually, we don't have healing. We have group healing. So I guess that doesn't matter. And we don't have celestial hammer either. So none of this really matters, but we'll get a little bit of a damage buff for the rare times when we attack with Vilm. Alright, and then get out of there and let's get the map out. This part looks a lot more straightforward. Still a little bit long. We're on our way to the village of Cirrus now. All these cloud names. Still have a lot of places to go. Well, not that many places, but places that have a lot of floors. So like a lot of maps to go through still. Fairy City has a lot of areas, and then we have these towers that have a lot of areas. These earth fairies and water fairies do seem to be pretty strong. I'm sure some of it has to do with the fact that we are pretty underleveled right now, but still. I don't mind staying underleveled though, like if the bosses aren't a problem. Like Devil Puss was not a problem at all. There was one point where like Mipsy was to the point where she could have died if Devil Puss did like a full attack. That was the only time I even noticed anything. Other than that, let's try mesmerization. Other than that, it wasn't really anything. There wasn't anything to worry about. The mesmerization, that seems like a pretty good skill. Basically, you put one person out of commission and focus on the other one. The reason that I don't think it's really worth investing in, I don't know for sure, but just from my casual playing point of view, is that there's not really any bosses that you'll benefit that will be easier because you have that skill, because most bosses are only one person. The only one are the fairies that has multiple people. At least the only difficult one. There were some people that had like underlings or whatever, but it's just the fairies, and I'm sure the fairies probably would resist it anyway. So, all right, let's look at the village of Cirrus here. All right, so we got a rest point, and we got potions, and we got armory. So let's see, we're gonna go forward here, hit that rest point in case we die. I think that's a thing. I always forget. We've only died like one time. I think like back in chapter 2, and it sent us back to the beginning of chapter 2 because there wasn't a rest point yet. I don't think we died again after that. Who do we need to talk to? This lady over here that I went right past. Perfect. Whoops. Yeah, so at some point I'll probably grind between episodes just so that I don't run into any issues. Probably not before the next one or anything, but these are like huge upgrades, aren't they? 64 going up to 72. Wow. That's awesome. All right, what Mipsy and Velm don't really matter for theirs, but what about Talinia here? 43 up to 50. It's pretty good. Let's see, 72, 30, 50, 55 on the armor. 72, it's good. 30, good. 50, good. 55, good. So I'll lose some of these buffs, but I think that's enough that it's probably worth buying all of them. You know, I don't know exactly how much of a difference the buffs make versus the extra defense, but whatever. I skipped them a lot, so let's just do it this time. Got the money. Let's equip everything, sell off what we don't need. I was keeping it in my inventory a lot just in case we die and we wouldn't lose the money, but I really don't like my inventory being so cluttered, so just go ahead and sell it all off. And then maybe we can buy some potions. Though I don't think there's really much we need. We still have a ton of slowing potions. We have a ton of damage potions, right? We got 12 of the 155s. Got some haste potions, and we got plenty of resurrection potions. You know, enough anyway. So maybe we'll just skip the potions. Just gotta make sure I don't sell the father sword. I don't think it does like increase damage, but it does like a special thing at least. So I remember saving it one time and like it didn't really seem like it was doing more damage, but maybe I'm misremembering. Who knows? They do have some good potions. They got hurricane damage potions, so yeah, I guess we could get those at least. They're doing 170 damage as opposed to 155, so that's not too bad. Where are they? Right here. They're pretty cheap too. It's kind of weird to me how cheap the damage potions are. Might as well just buy the slow potions. It's like 80%. We're getting like, I'm sure the max of 100, so you know. All right, well, I'll go ahead and get out of here off camera, and then on the next episode we will be heading out of the underclouds into the path to Fairy City, and we'll be on our way to Fairy City, battling some bionic Psy Bunnies soon. That's where you would get the last avatar. So I hope you guys will join me then, and thank you for watching this still, and I will see you then. Have a great day. Bye.